This is WEBN News, and I'm Kate Spalla. Today in the studio, we have Republican presidential candidate Buddy Roemer. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Kate. Good to be here.
Great. Let's get started. Now let's get to know Buddy Roemer. How would you describe yourself?
Oh my God. I'm a grandfather. I'm 68. I have 3 kids, 3 grandkids, so that's the most important thing in my life. So I wanted to say that. I'm from Louisiana. I'm unique in this contest in that I'm the only candidate running for president in either party who's been both a congressman and a governor. I added to that the fact that I've been a very successful businessman the last 15 years that I've been out of office. In fact, I have a bank that I've built in Louisiana and Texas. It's called Business First Bank. It's almost $1 billion. No bailout money. I don't believe in it. And we're profitable and very successful. So I'm a combination of a practiced politician and then the last 20 years a practicing business person. I think that's a good combination for Washington.
Now, you were congressman from 1981 to 88.
Right.
And then you were elected as Louisiana governor until 1992.
That's correct.
So what have you been doing since holding political office?
Working in private. I was a Kennedy Fellow at Harvard for a while after I left the governor's office, and then after I got through teaching at Harvard, I came back to Louisiana, and I have started 3 banks. Now, these are not Wall Street banks. These are small, what are called in the business community banks or Main Street banks. And my current one, Business First, is $750 million, a little bit bigger actually now. And in the Great Recession, we didn't foreclose on a single mortgage owner, a single home owner. We didn't close a single small business. We worked with our customers, one customer at a time, to restructure our debt, to have a business plan for them. I kind of think that's what the country needs, is a business plan. I think we're headed in the wrong direction. I'll say that as a taxpayer, as a former governor, as a banker. We're in trouble, and we need to address it now. There'll be some sacrifice required, Kate, but the sooner we address it, and the more people we include, not just Republicans, but the Republican president needs to be the American president and reach out to Democrats and independents and build a new nation. And that's why I'm running, to build a new nation.
Now, it's been almost 20 years. You're running for president. Why now?
I like to make 3 points. One, I think our country's headed in the wrong direction. Permanent unemployment at a high rate. Permanent number of people who've quit looking for work at a high rate. And it seems like a permanent number of people who are working only part-time, and they can't make it part-time, Kate. They can't support their family. So you put those groups together, and it's about 1 in 4 Americans who are either out of work, quit looking, or desperate for more than part-time work. We have more debt than we can repay. We're addicted to foreign oil. We have an unsustainable trade imbalance. We are a nation on the slide.
Right.
And so that was my first thing that I saw. As a banker, as a citizen, I thought we can do better. Number 2, I looked at the Republican field, and not putting anybody down, they seemed decent, but I was not impressed that anybody in the field had the skills that were needed to do the kind of things that would be done, or, and this is my 3rd point, had a commitment to clean politics. Now let me explain that. Having been in Washington and then having been governor, I know politics. And I know politics has become a race for money. Not a race for service, not a race to improve the country, just a race to get reelected. And Obama said it a year ago. I'm running for reelection and I'm going to raise $1 billion. What he left out is he's going to raise it from the special interest. They did bank reform. He goes to Wall Street the next week, has a fundraiser at $35,000 a ticket, Kate. And you know who the sponsor was? Goldman Sachs. Well, he's just like the Republicans who are running. They want the money. I think Washington has been corrupted by special interest.
Right.
And my solution, no matter what the problem is it could be jobs, it could be balancing the budget in a fair way, it could be immigration that's unlawful, it could be foreign policy that's tied to oil, it could be a military presence that's acting like we're policemen of the world. No matter which one of these problems you look at, it's connected to special interest money. Insurance companies, banks, pharmaceutical companies, and healthcare, for example, we need to cause them to back up. We need a president free to lead. Here's what I'm doing about it. I'm not taking any PAC money, no super PAC money. I have a maximum of $100 that I will accept, just like I was running for governor or Congress, and full disclosure. That's the first step.
Now, where are you getting those, the campaign funds?
All 50 states. Massachusetts is one of my lead states, surprising to some. Louisiana, of course, that's where I'm best known, and I have a lot of support there. California is good for me, Texas, Florida, but Massachusetts is right there in the top 5. We're looking for more support in New Hampshire because unlike Massachusetts, New Hampshire has an early primary. It's the first popular vote primary, and we've almost reached our goal in New Hampshire. We need less than $1,000 to meet our matching goal in 20 states in New Hampshire. So if somebody's listening to us, is interested in our approach, and I call it free to lead, not tied up with the special interest, get on our website. It's buddyroemer.com, and they can make a $5, a $10, a $50 donation, and we can take our message to the American people.
Now, it seems like your top priority is fixing the financial crisis.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Occupy movements. Occupy Boston was shut down last week. It seems like you have a lot of interest. What are your
my
thoughts?
Heart wasn't right. Now let's just be plain about it. America's real nervous when somebody stands up on Wall Street or Boston or Washington, D.C. and tells the truth. The truth is that we have become a nation run by the elite, either in their checkbook or in their special interest. Now look, we all have a special interest. I'm a diabetic, and I want diabetics to be sure they're taken care of. I want them to have full information. I don't have a problem with special needs or special knowledge. What I have a problem with is if you do bank reform and the big banks bring the big checks, they get protected and all the other banks get shut out. What I object to is a capital that has been corrupted by special interest money. And the Occupy ladies and men saw it. Now, I know other Republicans laughed at them. I think it was Herman Cain and Newt Gingrich called them un-American, unwashed, unpatriotic. What short memories these guys have. I remember when young people got us out of a war in which we didn't belong. You don't remember it, you're too young. But the advantage of being 68, as I remember Vietnam, where 59,000 American men were shot and killed, Kate, shot and killed for no reason. I mean, we went crazy after 9/11, as we should have. That was less than 3,000. Vietnam, 20 times that number were killed. And you know who stopped it? Young people. Right. Young people. Young people. Second lesson I want to give you is civil rights movement. I mean, I'm a civil rights liberal. I'm an economic conservative. I think people ought to be treated with their value, not with their color. Who cares about that? And yet, in the 50s, young people had to march in the South. Many of them were killed. They were under great threats. White and black marched together, and we finally got the nation's attention, and the law was changed, and America was changed, and that came from young people.